guys, it's Kinsey over here at Wife Teacher Mommy. I am one of our curriculum designers, and I'm excited to get to dive into this product spotlight with you. Before we get started, I'm going to go over a little bit of my background. I taught elementary school, first and second grade for 6 years, and then was put on bed rest, and it was right during COVID and all of that stuff. And so I was put on bed rest, taught virtually from home, and then decided to stay home with my little girl, who's now 2. While I was staying home, I got really bored out of my mind, just staying at home. So I absolutely love being a mom, but being a curriculum designer gets to challenge me, and I get to work on things that I love and work on ways to make other teachers' lives easier. So that's where this product stemmed. I really wanted to give all of you a product that would make your life easier. I've poured my heart and soul into this product, and I really wanted to develop something that would save you time, save you energy, give you more time at home with your children, where you're not searching for different resources to teach all of these elements. I've compiled them all together, created something that I think you're all going to love. So let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I will show you the product and do a spotlight of everything that is included. So hang tight for just a second as I share my screen with you. Okay, so here we are. We are going to go over all the wonderful things within our book study toolkit. So if you search book study in your Wife Teacher Mommy account or on the website, it will pull up these products. We have a lower grade version that is targeted for kindergarten through second grade. And we also have a 3rd to 6th grade version. And it's just a little bit more challenging, differentiated differently. So here we go. Let's dive in. I'm going to spotlight the lower grades version first and show you everything that's included in that and how I would use it. And then we'll dive into the upper grade version. If you have any questions, please drop them in the box, in the question box in the chat, and I will get back to you. So the lower grade version, as I said, it's designed for kindergarten to second grade. It is absolutely perfect for reading groups, literature circles, book clubs, and much more. You can honestly, I felt like it would really benefit. Like I said before, head to your account to download it. Since you're club members, it's totally free. So the way that I have laid out this product is each element that we're teaching in literature comes with a lesson plan, some posters that go along with it, and then some student work pages. So some worksheets that help them dive into this more. So we'll start by talking about the summarizing lesson. So I have given each element a job title. So this is the super summarizer. We have even if you're a veteran teacher just trying to look for ways to revamp your reading lessons, this is a great way you can follow this lesson plan, and it goes along with all of the worksheets and posters that are included. We, especially younger students, take ownership and have a job. So we designated this one as the super summarizer. When I was creating this product, I really felt like it would work well to have a reading group and assign each student in the reading group a job for a week. Let them take ownership in that job, really dive into that role and understand that element, and then have them share each day you're meeting. I know guided reading is quick. We have to do quick tasks within guided reading just because it's a short amount of time. So my thoughts behind that were that you could spotlight somebody each day and have them share what they've come up with within their job. So if you had a super summarizer, my thoughts were that you would give them one of the worksheets, and they're all differentiated. You can do it however, you can assign whichever one you would like. Some of them are getting more, some of them are structured a little bit differently. Some of them are a flip book. Totally up to you. This is totally customizable, and you make it what you want it to be. I really wanted this to lend itself well for customization, and I feel like it does. I would have loved to have this product when I was in the classroom. So this is everything that comes with the Super Summarizer, and all of these are included within the one product. I'm just going over each element that's included with it. So let's jump into our next one. Illustrating. Illustrating is such an important task for kids because that's how their little brains work. They visualize a lot, or they should be visualizing a lot. And this is a good way to get them exercising that part of their brain. We have our lesson plan, the posters. You can spotlight it as the illustrator or just spotlight illustrations, depending on how you want to structure this. And then we have a page that has them draw a picture. So illustrate what's happening in the story and then describe it. Our next element is making connections. I feel like kids are either really good at making connections or really struggle at making connections. This is great for both kids, both types, both skill levels. We have our lesson plan included, posters, and then our work pages. And I just realized this one's upside down. I'm sorry. That's just a bookmark reminding students of the different types of connections that they can make. I'm so sorry that's flipped over. I believe it's farther into the presentation again, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I included that since I had it here. Our next element is analyzing the characters. So we have our lesson plan, posters, and then for this, the students, you can choose what you have them do, or you can have them do both. The first one is where they draw a picture of the character and then identify 5 words that describe them. So you could talk about like physical traits and have the students talk about, well, are they tall? Are they short? Are they old? Are they young? Like whatever physical traits. And or you can have them talk about more characteristic traits. And that one can be tailored to how you want to have your students analyzing the characters. And then we also have a worksheet where the students will draw 4 of the characters and then label them with their names. That one's great for younger students to get them really thinking about the characters. Our retelling portion, we have the lesson plan. All of them will come with a lesson plan, so I'll stop pointing that out. But all of the resources, all the elements come with a lesson plan. Super easy to follow. I wrote this thinking of a first-year teacher and somebody that hasn't taught before. It says, say this, say that. You don't have to go into that much detail. You can just scan over it, get a feel for how you want to use worksheets, and that's great too. It comes with the posters to highlight retelling and that skill. And then we have multiple differentiated worksheets to go along with that. I really loved this one because they get to make a newspaper article to retell, because the newspapers retell stories of things that happened around the community. So I thought that was a fun way to interact with like a real life scenario. Our next one, there we go, is understanding words, understanding new words, new vocabulary. It's very tricky, especially with younger kids. When they get to a tricky word, a lot of times they will shut down and not know what to do. This gives them ways to think through that word and come up with a definition that fits the context of the text. Our next one is the quirky questionnaire. So this is working on asking questions. Kindergarten teachers, you have my respect because they ask a million questions a day, but it keeps things interesting. So we have differentiated worksheets to go along with them questioning before, during, and after they read a text. Our next element is understanding the setting. So we have posters to highlight what a setting is and what that job is if you choose to do the job roles within how you structure everything. So it's someone who examines the setting in a story or text. And then a poster highlighting what the setting actually is, when and where a story takes place. We've included a worksheet that has them analyze the setting and dive deeper into where the story is taking place. Our next element is looking at the details. So this is a great way to get kids to analyze the details and come up with the main idea. It's really good for that, or if they have the main idea, choose or pick out the details that helped them develop that main idea that helped the author. Another one. Hey, look at this. I didn't realize I could edit it on here. There we go. Another element that we're working on is understanding story elements. So for this one, I really wanted the students to dive into the author, the title, character, setting, a problem, and solution. So we're introducing that problem and solution within a story. We've differentiated different ways for your younger students who are maybe beginning writing. They can draw pictures of the different elements. For older students, they can write. And this is just a really, really great way to get students thinking about the text and analyzing what's happening within the text. This activity is for understanding the facts. This is great for texts that have facts and opinions. It helps them kind of differentiate what's what. This is the fact farmer. And your students will go through, read a text, and then they can draw and write what those facts are. It'll help them differentiate that. And then the last thing that I included in the lower grade resource is a place for teachers to take anecdotal notes. As you're conducting reading groups, it's important to keep track of where your kids are at or things that they're struggling with so you can target that later. So this is a way you just write in your students' names and then take quick little notes. I didn't want this to be like a whole out writing and missing out on what's going on in reading groups. This is just quick. Like I would do little bullet points and just say, struggled with digraphs. Well, like whatever they're struggling with, I would just throw that in there and then you can refer to it when you're planning your next guided reading and target that. I've also included a guided reading lesson plan. So this is fabulous. This is like the guided reading lesson plan that I looked for when I was teaching. I love this. I've included everything that I could think of needing in the classroom. So you'll go through and you'll target your teaching strategy. What are you working on? Decoding, comprehension, fluency. Are you introducing a role? If you're introducing a role, you can identify that and teach the kids how to take on that role. We have a before reading section, a during reading section, and after reading section. So this is a great way. You can just throw all the information on there and it's at a glance. You can look through it very quickly and easily and kind of know where you're at on that. So all of this that I've gone over is for the lower grade version. This is for kindergarten through second grade. And it can be found in your Wife Teacher Mommy account. Just go log into your account and then type in book study and it will bring that up. Now, for all of you upper grade teachers, we are going to dive into our upper grade version. So this is designed for 3rd through 6th grade. It's perfect for reading groups, literature circles, book clubs. These can be done independently. All of those good things. You can use this, tailor it to what works best for you. So just like the lower grade version, I have identified a role or a job position for this, and they all come with lesson plans and then a student work page as well as the posters. So super summarizer. Some of the names are the same, but I've also included more names or more elements that are targeted for older students. So summarizing, same gist as the lower grade, but we have a different student work page and a different lesson plan that differentiates for older students. Our illustrating, working on illustrations, lesson plan, posters, and then the worksheet page. This one is to identify 4 different things that are happening within the text. So they identify the page number, and then they explain what's happening and draw a picture. So it's really getting them working on visualizing. Making connections, same thing. Lesson plan, posters for the connection constructor, and then we have a worksheet. This one, I believe, also includes the bookmarks that we saw in the lower grade one. So it has the bookmarks as well, just to serve as a reminder. Our next element is understanding the characters. So this is where I've created this to kind of dive into more of their thoughts, their feelings, and their actions. So how a character's feeling and that action that stems from that feeling. Let me scroll down. Our next one is retelling. I've also included the newspaper page because it's the retail reporter, and if they're reporters, they're probably writing a newspaper article or something like that. And then we also have included the differentiated for a little bit lower grades, where it kind of lays out each element: character, setting, beginning, middle, end, and then the problem and solution. Our next one is understanding new vocabulary. So this is where the word work or the word wizard is going to come in. We have our lesson plan, the posters, and then 2 differentiated worksheets that you could give students. This is a great way. This would be really easy to have students do independently. Pass this out at the beginning of the week and have them fill it out for a new vocabulary that they encounter throughout the week. You could also have them share at the end of the week, pick a few students, and have them share with the class new words that they learned. That would be a really fun way to get kids looking for new words. Our next element is asking questions. So we have our lesson plan, quirky questioner is the job here, and then a worksheet to get them asking questions before, during, and after reading a text. Understanding the setting, we have our setting seeker is this role. So we have our lesson plan, posters, and then our student worksheets. So you can differentiate for however you want your students to do this. Oh, something I wanted to point out is I have also created differentiated worksheets, but they're so similar that if you have a student who maybe isn't as skilled in that area and needs a lower differentiated worksheet for maybe an easier skill because they're struggling there, you can give some of the students one worksheet and some of them the other worksheet, and they'll never really know the difference unless they're side by side comparing them. These look pretty darn similar, setting seeker, setting seeker. So your students aren't going to catch on like, oh, Johnny has an easier worksheet than me. They look the same. I did that purposefully because I didn't want students to feel called out per se because they got something easier. But if you have struggling students, this is a great way to differentiate for that, or English language learners. All right, our next element is understanding cause and effect. So this is a new one from the lower grade version. I included this in upper grade. And this is the cause and effect carpenter. And we have a worksheet where they will identify the cause and then the effect, cause and effects, and so on. Our lesson plan works really well with this as well. Our next element is diving deeper into the details. So this is the detail diver. There we go. My OCD kicks in. Okay, so we have our lesson plan, our posters, and then our detail diver. So they are going to pick out 4 details and then the main ideas that stem from those details. Understanding the story elements is our next element of this product. And we have our lesson plan, posters, and then a student worksheet where they will fill in the title, the author, setting, characters, and then the problem and solution. It's really important in these elementary school years to get them thinking about a problem and solution. I would say all books have a problem and solution within them, especially a book with a storyline, a fictional story. Okay, so let's jump ahead. Even nonfiction, some of them have problems and solutions, but we'll save that for a later date. This element is diving into the facts. We have the fact farmer again. With this student worksheet, they are going to draw pictures of the facts and then label them. We have the point of view. This is new from the lower grade version as well. So this is the point of view pilot. And students are really going to dive into first person, second person, third person. They're going to really understand this. So on this student worksheet, I have laid out where they are looking for text clues. So they're looking for things within the text that it gives away what point of view the text is written in. So this is a really good way to walk students through understanding the point of view. Sometimes that's a harder concept for some students. This would be great to focus an entire reading group time, like 1 day's worth of reading group, on diving into the point of view. And it'll be interesting to see the text clues that some students pick up on and the text clues that other students pick up on. There's a lot of room for differentiation here and a lot of room for different answers, just depending on what your students catch on to within the text. Our next element is understanding the plot. This is where we are introducing the plot line. So we'll talk about introducing the characters and setting, the rising action, the climax or the most exciting part, the falling action, and then the resolution. So this is really important for students to understand. And I feel that this worksheet really lays out how that works. And you can explain to students, like when you're teaching this, make sure that you point out that it's not all a rising action. You can have little bumps. You can have rising and then falling and then rising and then falling and then the big climax of the story. So it's not absolute concrete that it has to, that all storylines look like this. Make sure to point out that there can be little bumps along the way. Our next element is comparing and contrasting. So we have our lesson plan. This is a little bit more extensive of a topic. And so our lesson plan goes on to 2 pages. And then we have our posters. This is the compare and contrast coach. And then our Venn diagrams for your students to fill out. An important skill for students is being able to make predictions. So we have the prediction principle, and they will, on this student worksheet, they will identify the page number, and then they will give a little blurb about what they believe is going to happen and draw a picture. With this product, as well as the lower grades option, I've included the teacher anecdotal note page. It works the same way as the upper or as the lower grade version. They're the same. You'll just write your student's name and then do little bullet points of what you're noticing. With the guided reading lesson plan, it's different. If you compare the two, they are a little bit different. This one on teaching strategies, I have identified all the different things that we have included within this pack. So we have summarizing, illustrations, character analysis, facts, all of those different things. And then we have a before reading page, during reading, after reading, and then any notes that you have or things that you want to add in there. I'm going to scroll back up to the top here. So these products, I hope that this little product spotlight really sold you on these products because they're here to help you. I am not trying to sell a product. You guys are already club members. Like, you download it for free. But I really want you guys to know that these are beneficial products and resources and that your students will benefit from them. I have really tried to include everything needed to have your students really, really dive into literature and be able to look at all the different text elements and things like that and really understand them. These can be assigned individually They can be assigned to individual reading groups. Maybe you have a group that really could work on making connections, but one of your other groups is good with making connections. You could assign the point of view tasks to them. These are great to tailor to whatever you need. And I really hope that you guys can see the benefit behind these. This is everything that I wanted as a teacher poured into one product for you. I poured my heart and soul into compiling things that I really thought would benefit you. And I'm excited for you guys to have the opportunity to implement these into your classrooms. I'm excited for you guys that you guys are club members. Like, how amazing is that? You have access to all these resources. So if you have questions, remember to drop your questions in the chat box and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And thanks so much for being here, guys. I'm excited for you to use this product and find the benefits within your classroom. Oh, if you have any testimonials, like you've used this product, let me know. I really poured my heart and soul into this, and I love to hear how well people are liking it or aha moments when using it. So thanks so much, guys. See you later.